Welcome back to the show, the eternal show. We're never gonna die, we're gonna live forever. It's a Sunday somewhere and a Monday somewhere else. It could also be yesterday somewhere else. I don't know. And time is a thing, and what is time actually? Oh, 7-Eleven.
Surprise! Oh,
surprising. Welcome to AAWY, the And Also With You podcast from Affable Idiots. We're two of those idiots. Every week, join us and all your other lifelong friends as we laugh together, share secrets. I have barely any toenail on my pinky toe, and strengthen our friendships on this off-color Mr. Rogers-esque show. I'm one of your hosts, Jesse Neal, and with me here, I've got Chad, Michelle, Ennis.
Hello, everyone.
And all of you lifelong friends listening and watching across the world. I'm so happy to be here with all of you.
And also with you, Jessica.
Gracias.
De nada.
Mike, I'm going to start today by asking you a question.
Okay.
And I want you to answer honestly.
I would never think of any other way to answer your question other than honestly. Not even elatedly or
Not
lethargically.
Even lethargically. What the hell did you eat for breakfast?
What the hell did I eat for breakfast? Let me tell you. Run and tell that homeboy. I ate first the ass of the bread loaf.
Ugh.
Took that ass, put it in the toaster. That's how you have to do two hands in the toaster. And you got to make sure it's shaped like the bread. If you're watching the video version, I'm making hand bread.
Hand bread.
You put that in the toaster. You put that down immediately. While that's toasting, you put 3 strips of bacon on the little griddle section in the center of your stove. You turn the stove on 7 out of 10 heat. And then you let that go. That's the sound of bacon sizzling in the morning. 3 strips of bacon are sizzly bizzling. You let them little sizzly bizzly. You get 2 more pieces of bread.
Ooh.
You put them in the toaster. Those are regular breads. Put them in the toaster. You don't put it down yet, though. You keep them popped up, but you
gotta
prep.
wait, yeah.
You got to prep to make sure everything ends on time. So you've done that. You've got 1 piece of toast going. That's the sound of bread toasting. You get the bacon going.
That's a weird sound. You might want to get that looked at.
That's the bacon sizzling. You go to your fridge. You open up the door. You move all the shit out of the way because you only have 2 shelves on this fridge. You got a lot of shit in front of your eggs. And then you take out your carton of eggs. You take that carton of eggs. You put it next to the stove. Don't open it up yet because you're not ready for them eggs. You can't handle that jelly.
I don't think you're ready for these Eggos.
Not ready, but not Eggos. Those are waffles.
Not Eggo waffles, like Egg-Os.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Eggies. Maybe I should have
Eggies.
said Eggies. Her?
So then you go to the pantry. You get 2 paper plates. You take 1 paper plate, you put it by the toaster. You get the other paper plate, you put it on one of the burners of the stove, but not while it's on, or you're going to cause a fuego.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
No, you don't want to fuego with your eggies. So here's the deal. By now, your bacon's starting to go and starting to get a little bit brown on the bottom. You take that spatchy, and you put it on top of the bacon, and you move it around on the little griddle pan so that the grease from the bacon gets all over the griddle pan for your eggs later.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes. And then you take 1 piece of bacon, you flip it, you realize, damn it, I did that prematurely. You flip it back over, and you leave them for a second. At that time, that's your first piece of toast, done. You go to the fridge, you open it up, you get a little jar of butter, you close the fridge. Butter and aisle. You go over to that piece of toast, you take your knife, and you go squid, and then you go spread the butter on the toast.
Yeah.
That is because you are deathly hungry.
You got to eat that
You
while you're
munch
getting ready.
that toast while you watch the bacon go sizzle. So I'm eating that piece of toast. You start at the square corner, and then you work your way. You eat the square corner, work your way on the flat edge, and then you eventually work your way to the rounded edge of the bread. And then you save the middle soggiest part with all the good healthy butter on it for last.
The healthy butter,
Right.
as opposed to the unhealthy butter, the
Right.
sickly butter.
Exactly. So you eat that. At this point, it's time for you to flip your bacon. take the spatchy, you flip your bacon.
Nice.
All three pieces.
That's a good feel.
All three pieces. The second side of the bacon cooks much faster than the first side, so you need to make sure that you are ready for it.
It's already heated up, so yeah, it's just going now.
Already. So you wait approximately 41 seconds. You take the bacon off, put it on the paper plate that you have next to the stove on the burner. You put it on there so it can cool off. And at this point, you scrape all the excess grease and like the little charred bits from the bacon off of the griddle part into the little trough at the front of your stove so that that's all collected there. And then here's the kicker. You still take a little bit of Pam and spray it too because the bacon grease is just not enough to keep the eggs from sticking.
Is this the griddle you had in Chicago?
No, this is something that's actually built into the stovetop.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's cool, except whenever it's time to clean it. And then it's built into the stovetop.
Yeah, which sucks.
Yeah. So then you take 2 eggs, one at a time. You take them out.
Weigh those.
Take out one huevo. You go, dun, 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 dun. The 5th one is the one that makes the crack that's enough to put your fingers in. That's what she said.
Ooh, that's, yeah.
You take it, you go,
yeah,
and you go.
That's why you have to spank a sexual partner 5 times.
Exactly.
Before.
You spank them on the ass 5 times before their vagina and or butthole opens up enough for you to go inside.
Yep.
So, I forgot to mention, before you do that with the egg, before you take the bacon and the grease and scrape it towards the bottom, you have to turn the stove down, the griddle part of the stove, from a 7 to a 4. You don't want to.
You don't want your eggs to cook as fast.
Right. So you do that. Allow that time to cool off a little bit while you're scraping. You're getting your egg ready. You're cracking it 5 times, and then you go. That's the egg starting to go
that's a good
sizzle.
sound.
Yeah. Number 2, you do it again. Well, first you take that shell. And I learned this from Kanan. It's not efficient, but he does it, and I guess I miss him, so I just do it now too. You take the shell, you put it back in the egg carton.
Oh, yeah. That way you don't have to go to the trash can twice.
Exactly. And then, so it's in the egg carton. And then whenever you open the egg carton, you can see the remnants of all the other eggs you've eaten. You can be like, ha, 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 ha. I got you.
Oh, wait. He
eggs.
leaves them in there?
Forever, until the egg carton's done.
That's weird.
Yep. But I do it now, too. And then you take your second egg.
That's super weird and kind of morbid. It's like, these are all
my trophies.
Definitely. Yeah.
These are my awards
Weird.
from Army. Take the second egg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Crack. Let that one start to sizzle. Those are going to cook at this time. Oh, shit. Jesse, I forgot. Make sure you read the whole recipe first, because if you wait till this point for me to tell you, you're going to have missed it. As the bacon is nearing completion on the second side, you lower the other 2 pieces of toast into the toaster.
Oh, yeah. That's an important part of the recipe.
Very important. V importante. Be importante.
V. Be.
So those are in the toaster. They're toasting. They're toasting.
Your toaster sounds like it's sick. Or haunted.
While they're toasting, you're looking at the eggs, making sure they're not sticking, making sure the egg is not running too far out. You're kind of keeping that corralled like a herd of cats. And then take the spatchy underneath the eggy, you flip it. Other spatchy underneath the eggy, flip it. They're now sizzling on the second side. You're almost ready to eat. At this point, of your 3 pieces of bacon, you only need 2 for the salmon you're about to make. You eat a piece of bacon.
Nice.
Yeah, so now you've had, if you're keeping track, 1 piece of toast from the ass of the bread, 1 piece of bacon. That's your breakfast so far.
Perfect. It's your pre-breakfast.
At this point, while the second part of the egg is cooking, the second half of the egg is cooking, because you flipped it by now, pop goes the toast. You take the toast. And the weasel. You take the toast, you put it on the plate that you prepared next to the toaster. Remember that from a long time ago? It's an important step.
I remember it.
You take 1 piece of toast, you put it on the paper plate. You take both pieces of bacon, tear them in half, arrange them so that these 4 halves of bacon now cover the entirety of the first piece of bread.
Yeah.
And then here's the kicker. You take a piece of Kraft American Singles cheese out of the fridge. You unwrap that shit. You put it on top of the bacon.
Give my dog her medicine in those.
Yeah. You put that on top of the bacon. The warmth of the bacon starts to melt the cheese just a bit. By the time that piece of cheese is on it, it's time for your eggs to come off the stove. You go scoot, 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 scoot. You have one egg on the spatchy spatch. You make sure that
Pop
any
it
of
on.
the hangy offy bits of the egg white, make sure that those don't hang off the edge of the sandwich. Otherwise, it gets messy. So you do it in a way. For all you video watchers here, this is the plate. This is the spatchy spatch. You kind of like dangle it on the side of the bread first, and then you drape it over it so that it folds underneath itself.
Yeah.
You let one eggy egg cover half the Sammy Sam. And then you get the other eggy egg, do the same on the other half of the Sammy Sam. The heat from the eggs will definitely melt that cheese. Then you take the second piece of bread from earlier, put it on top. You've got yourself a stew going.
You got yourself a stew going.
At that point, you eat the rest of the sandwich, and that's your breakfast. And that's what I had today. But also Alta, Alto, Balto, Age of Ultron, Oliver Twist. During all of this, you get 3 adult vitamin gummies. And you eat one of the gross purple chocolatey tasting ones because you got to eat those, otherwise you're going to be left with them all at the bottom.
Yeah,
you eat that first so you can get it over with and it's not left in your mouth. And then you eat the yellow pineapple-y ones because those are pretty good. And then you save your third one, which you're not supposed to eat because the serving size is 2, but they're just good and the vitamin C is good for you. You get the third one, which is the orange flavor one, and you set that aside for after your Sammy. So you can end with a nice, refreshing, sweet, fruity taste in your mouth at the end.
I like it.
Yep.
Very good.
That's what I had for breakfast. Thank you for asking.
What a saga.
That was a long part of our... that was like legit 10 minutes.
Probably took you longer to say it than do it.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Or am I?
What'd you have for breakfast?
Well, I had some yogurt, some plain Greek yogurt.
Nice.
With 2 strawberries,
Ooh.
half a banana, and some granola.
2 strawberries and a half a banana is like 2 balls and a D. And the granola is like
half a D, like
the D
not
cheese.
a full. It's not full chub.
Well, it would be weird if, like a banana, the D comes to a point on both ends.
That would
So you do need it to be cut off somewhere in order
So
to
that it
make
can
sure that the
attach.
base of it attaches in a natural looking way.
True. It's a good point. It's a very good point. Indeed. Well, let's just go ahead and recap last week's game that we played.
Let's do
We
it.
cast the live-action Rick and Morty movie.
We did. And man,
was a
was it a
great
good
cast.
cast.
It was a great cast. And we asked you guys on the Twitter what your thoughts were, what you might have done differently, who you might have cast as, Rick or whomever, or if there were any, side characters or extra special characters that we didn't cast that you'd want to cast. And well, one person liked the tweet. So I'm assuming that they liked
They
our
just
casting.
agreed with our casting 100%.
Yeah.
Great.
But we didn't hear back from you. Oh, go ahead.
Can I pause for just a second and just say
Yes.
I very much appreciate your use of whomever
Thank you.
because it was the indirect object and that's grammatically correct.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And so that nobody else commented or liked it or anything. So I'm taking that as proof that we cast perfectly the film.
We did. And we saw how many people listened and watched the episode. So we know
Yeah.
a lot more than one person watched it.
Tens more
There are
people.
literally dozens of us.
That was a fun, dumb game last week. And this week, boy, do we have something in store.
Oh boy. I can't wait.
This week's game is called Pee, Poop, and Fart. Finish the quote from cinematic art.
Oh, very good. Very good. It rhymes, which all good titles do.
All good.
Schindler's List.
Goodwill Hunting.
Oh, Avengers Endgame. All good titles rhyme.
All good titles rhyme and must eventually come to an end. All good titles come to an end. That's it.
Yes, they do eventually end and you stop reading them.
So I have 10 quotes here.
Okay.
Each one referring to pee, poop, or fart.
Okay.
That's not the in the quote, I'll give you the name of the movie.
Okay.
If it's a television show, I'll give you the season and the episode.
Very good.
I even have the name, the title of the episode. I'll just go ahead and give you. But in the quote, I've left out a word,
Okay.
and you or like a word or a name, just appending, but not a phrase. So you don't have to worry about like thinking up a phrase.
This might be the most on-brand game we've ever played.
It's so on brand. It's so on brand. And so you're going to have to finish the quote. So you get a point for each one.
Great.
Out of 10.
Okay.
And I don't know that you've seen all of these, but I wanted to put some things in there just in case, like the listeners, the viewers
of course,
know it. So there are some that I know you might not get, but they're funny anyway.
And keep this in mind. If you are listening right now, be prepared mentally to keep track of your score because this is important. You're going to go on twitter.com/Affable Idiots after this episode is over, and you're going to let us know how many you got.
How many points you got. 1 through 10. There will be 4 options to choose from, breaking down 1 through 10. And lots of fun emojis. You can't forget about the emojis.
Especially the emojis.
All right, so we're going to start out easy here.
Okay.
So this is a quote from Billy Madison.
Billy Madison. Okay, it's been a long time since I've seen this movie.
Famous Adam Sandler film.
Let's see how I do.
If peeing your pants is cool, consider me blank.
I'm going to take a nice long pause here to mentally confirm I've got the right answer. And so that the viewers at home can also take a moment to themselves and confirm that they have the right answer, which is Miles Davis.
Oh, boom shaka Khan. That's 1
shaka
point for
Khan.
you. That is correct.
That's a bye.
A bye. All right, that's 1 point for you.
Yes. And
now,
0 points for the enemy.
The enemy. In enemy territory.
An enema.
Territory. Enema. An enema territory. All right, quote number 2 comes to us from the movie Step Brothers.
Oh, okay.
Was that a fart? I can blank it.
Oh, God.
They're at an interview together.
I got it. Okay. I'm going to give the audience a moment to think because this is important.
Perfect.
They're sitting one behind the other.
Right.
Taste is the sense we're looking for.
You got
That's
it.
right.
It is taste.
That's right.
Is that a fart? I can taste it.
Yes. I have to watch that movie. Again, it's been maybe 12 years since I've seen that movie.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Hey, Siri, when did the movie Step Brothers come out?
Step Brothers was released July 25th,
2008, yeah. It's
2008.
12 years. Oh, my God. Am I an Encyclopedia Brown?
I think you are. You're an Encyclopedia Brown. That's your new name,
Yes.
Encyclopedia Brown. And I'll just call you Cyclops.
Thank you.
For sure. Maybe that's the X-Man's real name.
Maybe that's his real superpower, and the concussive blast is just a side effect.
Yep, I think so. I think that's exactly what it is.
Hence why he's such
We
a
figured
natural
it out.
leader of the team.
We've totally figured it out.
Nailed it.
I completely understand the X-Mans now.
Ex-people.
Ex-persons. Former people.
Ex-Parsons Brown.
Parsons Brown.
Full circle.
Full Sorcall.
Full Aaron Sorkin. Word association,
Sorkin.
I often say, is a blessing and a curse.
I love doing it.
Me too.
It's so much fun. Casey and I will do it all the time now because I'm like, oh, Mike and I used to do this. Let's just do it. Let's just keep playing. Because we'll start doing it. And I'm like, oh, let's keep doing it. Because I'm stupid and a dork and I love it.
You remember that time we were just walking down the street for hours and would just see names of businesses and we would just like replace a letter, like L's with an F or something like that, and that just made us giggle for hours.
It's so easy.
We're
like,
such
life
simpletons.
Is we're such simpletons. I love doing that, or like seeing something and then reading it backwards.
Yes. Did you know? Did you know that Outline is actually a distant cousin of The Outsiders, Ponyboy?
I used to love when we would play this stupid game. I wasn't very good at it, but I loved it. As I recall, I was pretty bad at that.
Oh, you had to read it backwards too. That was part of it. Right?
Right.
I don't remember. Let's move on to question 3.
Question 3. All right. Question 3 comes to us from Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery.
Okay. The first one. Okay.
The first one.
Whew. Okay.
Whew. Who does number 2 work for? And then the guy, they're in the bathroom, and the guy in the stall next to him says, Yeah, that's right, buddy. You show that blank who's boss.
Oh man. This is one of those I've seen that movie maybe once. You quote "Who does number 2 work for?" all the time.
All the time.
But we never continue on after that quote. No. So I'm stalling a bit. Can you reread the second part of the quote here that I have to put in?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right, buddy. You show that blank who's boss.
Oh God. I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark that I know is wrong, but I'm going to say poop.
Oh, you were super close.
Was I?
It's turd.
Oh! Jesse. Okay.
So, who does number 2 work for? Yeah, that's right, buddy. You show that turd who's boss.
Damn it.
But remember, number 2 is a guy there's a guy trying to kill him in the stall. And so he's saying, who does number 2 work for?
Right.
But he's not pooping, but it sounds like it. It's really good comedy.
Very good. Be good.
Be good. Now, I don't know if you'll get this one, but it was too good not to put in.
Well, of course. So I'm at 2 out of 3 right now.
Yeah, you're at 2 out of 3.
Okay.
Let's see here. So quote 4 comes to us from Me and You and Everyone We Know, which is a movie.
I've never heard of that movie.
Well, I haven't seen it, but Casey quotes this all the time.
Okay. Let's see if I can put some context clues together and see.
Get ready to laugh.
Okay.
It's so stupid. I'll poop into your butthole.
I know this. I know this one.
You do?
This is one of my favorite things. Oh, this is the pooping back and forth. This is one of the funniest things.
So stupid.
Sorry, continue the quote.
I'll poop into your butthole. And then you will poop it back into my butt. And we will keep doing it back and forth with the same poop blank.
Forever? Yes. Oh my God. If you are listening to this and you have not seen that clip, go onto YouTube and just Google pooping back and forth.
Back and forth.
Oh my God, this is the funniest thing. It's these two kids in a chat room, and one of them's like 8, and he's talking about pooping. He's trying to think of something that's really hot that he wants to do to this girl. He's like, oh, poop in her butthole.
It's like the older brother is doing the typing.
Right.
And he's like, they're trying to figure out if the person's a man or not.
Oh, God.
And then he's like, tell her you want to poop back and ask her if she wants to poop back and forth. And then the little 8-year-old kid goes, I'll poop.
And he's like, write down exactly what I say. Oh, it's perfect.
Oh my gosh. And we keep doing it back and forth with the same poop forever.
Oh my God. That's a good one.
You're 3 for 4. I'm glad you got that one. That was so stupid. I've never seen the movie, but
I've not seen the movie either, but someone at work showed me that a long time ago.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. All right, let's see here. Question number 5 comes to us from Bridesmaids.
Oh, okay.
What did we eat? This sink's a goner. It's coming out of me like blank.
Oh no. Jesse, I saw this movie when it first came out, and I have not seen it since.
Oh my gosh, it's such a good movie.
It is a good movie, but it's not as quotable as other movies, or at least that's my assumption because I don't hear people quote it a lot, other than the woman dressed in traditional garb on the wing of the plane. I hear that a lot. There's a woman on the wing of the plane. She's dressed in traditional garb.
Churning butter.
So I'm going to go ahead and say for this one, it's coming. The end of the quote. Can you
read it again if you like?
Just the end of the quote.
Oh, the end of it? It's coming out of me like blank.
I can picture the scene. I know exactly what's happening in the scene.
It's Melissa McCarthy. Sitting on a sink.
Yeah.
Sitting on a toilet.
Sitting on the toilet. I'm going. This is 100% wrong. I know this, but I'm going to say the River Jordan, just because that's something I used recently.
The River Jordan. Lava. It's coming
Lava.
out of me like lava.
Okay.
That's all right. You're still doing great. You're 3 for 5.
3 for 5, 60%. How do you say
100%.
pushing rope?
Pushing rope. Okay. Number 6 comes to us from classic film Dumb and Dumber.
Yes, I got this one. In the bag.
In the bag. Hurry. I'm pinching it. And then that's what
Harry.
Jim Carrey's character, Harry,
Wait.
says, hurry, I'm pinching it. And Lloyd says...
Oh, gotcha. No, this is... Sorry, I thought we were talking about Harry pooping.
Lloyd
This is Lloyd
says,
peeing.
I'm pinching
Gotcha.
it.
Yes.
Right. And then Harry, the driver,
Mm-hmm.
says, what are you, a blank?
I'm like 82% confident in my memory of this one. Because this is... I quote that entire movie way too much.
It's a great movie.
But this is not something that I quote.
Ooh, then I've done a pretty good job
You
here
did.
of throwing you off.
You did. I'm going to
Throwing you off the
say...
scent.
Camel? That's
You
right.
got it.
That's right. Like a Joe pack of cigarettes. Joe Camel.
Joe Camel. You're 4 for 6. That's feeling
right.
good. That's feeling good. All right. This next one comes to us from The Simpsons.
Uh-oh.
I know you're not a big Simpsons
No,
person, but a lot of people
I've
are,
watched
so
like
I figured I'd include
12% of The Simpsons.
it. 12%. So it's season 4, episode 3.
Okay.
The title is Homer the Heretic.
Okay.
And Homer is laying in bed and says, I'm just a big toasty blank. I never want to leave this bed. Uh-oh. Gotta take a whiz.
Okay. I'm going to say, this is, again, I don't believe I've
A
seen this
whole guess?
episode. It is wholeheartedly a guess. I was going to say River Jordan again, but I don't think that's right. So I'm going to say...
Think about what you could be in bed. I'm a warm, toasty...
I was going to say loaf. Like a loaf of
You're-
bread.
You're on the right track, but you're not quite there.
What is it?
Cinnamon bun.
Cinnamon bun. I was going to say roll, and then I was also going to say bun. But then I went with loaf.
Loaf.
Loaf. Big fat loaf. Okay.
So you're 4 for 7.
4 for 7.
4 for 7.
Okay. Still over half.
So yeah, you're doing great. You're doing great.
Yeah, absolutely.
So question number 8 comes to us from Anchorman.
Okay.
And the Veronica Corningstone says, my God, what is that smell? And then, what's his name? Paul Rudd's character says, that's the smell of desire, milady. And then Veronica Corningstone says, God, no. It smells like a used diaper filled with...
Damn it. I remember laughing so hard at this quote. Oh, I'm going to hate myself for this. I'm going to hate myself for this one, Jesse. Or do I just
Sorry.
know it and I'm just stalling
Maybe you
to
know
let
it.
other people say it?
Let's find out
We'll find out very shortly.
after these messages.
Are your cats making too much noise all the time? It's like a diaper filled with...
A used diaper.
A used diaper filled with... I can't... This is not right. This is not right. Poison. Garbage. No, it's garbage. Or no.
Indian food.
Indian food. And then right after that, they say something about a raccoon or something like that.
The one that comes after that is it smells like a turd covered in burnt hair.
Yes. Okay.
And then I forget all that come after that. Then
Damn
somebody
it.
says smells like Bigfoot's dick.
Bigfoot's dick. Yep. Damn it. 4 for
So
8.
good though.
50%.
4 for 8. 50%.
Full chub.
I have a feeling you're gonna get this one.
Okay.
I rewatched this scene to decide which part of it I wanted to use, and I laughed so hard I cried.
Okay.
It's from Parks and Rec.
Which I did recently just watch the whole series again.
Yep. So it was from season 5, episode 5.
Okay.
Titled Halloween Surprise.
Okay.
I just wanted to hear the doctor say that Jerry had a...
I know this one. Because I laughed so hard I cried when I watched this the first time.
So stupid.
What is a fart attack?
Yes! That was so... I mean, I watched this because there were so many good lines
Right.
that I could have used from that scene. I was like, all right. So I just had to watch it, and I died laughing.
Yep. Oh, God, that's such a good scene.
So good. Oh, all right.
Watching him also have a heart attack while farting. Oh, God, it was so funny.
And then Tom comes out of the bathroom. Oh, it sounds like a dinosaur farted or something stupid. All right, question number 10. This is your last chance to pull above 50%.
I'm above 50% right now. Oh.
Well, I mean, you're right. Like, you're either going to pull above it.
I'm either going to end up with 60
or remain.
or 50.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
And much like Sex Panther, 60% of the time it works every time. Let's see. Okay, so this quote comes from Rick and Morty.
Okay.
Season 2, episode 2, titled Morty Night Run.
Okay.
Rick says, "Oh, good job, Morty. You killed my best blank, but you saved a mind-reading fart."
Oh, no. This is exactly the episode I thought you were going to pull from. I like this name, Fart.
Fart.
And he kills Crumbopulous Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Killed my best. Oh, is it like something like Hitman or Assassin or something like that? Oh, damn it. Nope. What is it?
Customer. You killed my best customer, but you
headphones.
saved a
Hold on,
mind.
sorry.
Oh, oopies.
I just got so upset. Where's the hole? She said that.
She did. It's like I can't find it.
Okay. Just like
Are
the
you back?
dinosaurs, we're back.
Just like the dinosaurs. We're back.
Yep.
Yes, you killed my best customer, but you saved a mind-reading fart.
Crumbopulous Michael.
It's all right. Crumbopulous Michael. What a stupid name.
It's so funny, though.
All right, that left you at 5 for 10.
All right.
A cool 50%. Half the cookie. Half the cookie. How did the rest of you do? Let us know on Twitter.
On Twitter. Next time on Twitter.
Next time on Internet.
Welcome to HomestarRunner.com. Just kidding. I did the Teen Girl Squad voice for Homestar Runner. This is the appropriate voice. Hi, this is Homestar Watto, and welcome to HomestarWatto.net. It's .com. It's .com. And then this is Teen Girl Squad. Teen Girl Squad! It's a big girl party! It's a big girl party! Wave of babies. Teen Girl Squad was ahead of its time.
It was. It really was.
It was the ultimate. Like Teen Girl Squad would kill on TikTok right now.
TikTok. It totally was.
Yeah, 100%. There is a TikTok that I watch. I don't watch TikTok. I only watch them when people send them to me. And there's a TikTok of this girl, and she's doing an audition video in her home. She hits play and she goes, "Hi, my name is so-and-so, and I will be auditioning for the role of R2-D2. She takes a motorcycle helmet, puts it on her head, and then she just goes, and it's the funniest thing.
You love screaming.
I love screaming.
You love it.
I love it so much. Screaming, pooping farts, watching people fall. Those are the three funniest things.
Your favorite thing. Well, and watching people run. Don't you think it? Or no, that's Derek that thinks it's hilarious when people
sounds
to
like
watch
Derek.
people run. It's like, they look so stupid.
I'll send you the TikTok at the end of this. It's great.
Send it to me. Show me what you got.
Show me what you've got.
Last week, we talked about nature versus nurture. And if we thought that we were the product more of nature or nurture, and we learned that it's a combination of the two, and that also things don't necessarily fall into just those two categories.
Right.
It's not all black and white.
It's a combo, just like the number 7 chicken plain home-style chicken sandwich from Wendy's with
or
Biggie
the
Fry.
snack combos.
Or the snack combos that are very bad. They're just too dry.
It's a pretzel snack with you can get different inside.
Right, you can get
flavors, right?
pretzels
They're
like cheddar
pizza
cheese.
combos,
Yeah,
or
you can get the just
cheese.
regular bread with cheese or with pepperoni like shit on the inside.
I never loved those.
They're gross. They're gross.
I love pretzels, but I never liked.
I'm a big pretzel fan, and here's the other thing. You know the giant tub of pretzels that you can get at Costco that have the peanut butter on the inside?
Mm-hmm.
That was a staple. Anytime that we had like a launch day or like an all hand like Black Friday or something like that back in our old store, that was always on the table in the break room. We had tubs on tubs on tubs of them.
Tubs on tubs on
Tubs on tubs on tubs.
Tubman's man tubs.
Harriet Tubman's man tubs. What is that from? Another period?
Another period.
God,
what a dumb show.
what a
It was
fucking
so
great
good.
show. Yeah, so I'm a big fan of those, which are basically just more fancy combos.
Yeah, but like good combos.
Right. They're not like gas station
Right.
combos.
Blech.
I associate combos 100% with like gas station trash.
Yeah, because you can get gas station good stuff.
Yeah, like you can
But
go in
that's
there
like-
and get a hot dog.
Hot dog, bottle of water, Dr. Pepper.
True story. A couple of our lifelong friends that listen to the show, one of them who's written into the show a couple of times, Brent, has a rap persona named B Rent, and he's doing what do you call it? A collaboration,
A duet.
a rap duet with Matt from Rhode Island, who also is a frequent contributor to the show. And Matt's rap name is Young Hot Dog.
Young hot
Young
dog.
Hot Dog.
I'm into it. I like it.
Oh,
I like
it's
it.
so stupid. I can't
love
wait to hear it,
That's
though.
so dumb. That's perfectly dumb.
It's-
Young hot dog.
Young Hot
I
Dog.
like it, Matt. I like it. And be rent.
But he's thinking Young Hot Dog is spelled Y-U-N-G.
Oh yeah.
But he's also
Obvi,
thinking
awesome.
about just like condensing it and making it hot dog with 2 G's.
Ooh,
True story.
Yeah. Yeah, but is it H-O-T, H-O-T-T, or H-A-W-T?
If it were 2 T's, that would be hot.
Hot.
If it's
I like-
H-A-W-T, that would be how my
How?
mom still spells hot, probably.
I love it if he did it like hot couture.
Hottie
Like
Kularati.
fashion. H-A-U-T-E, dog.
Oh, that's a good one. Matt, do it. Hot dog. H-A-U-T-E-D-O-G-G.
So stupid. I love it. Oofa doofa. Well, this week, my friends, my loves, my pets, we're going to talk about, is America ready to open back up after this whole thing? This whole Cove thing.
It's all Covey.
Covey.
Kobe Bryant. LeBron
Yeah,
James.
LeBron James. I almost made a Kobe Bryant joke, but then I was
Oh,
like,
no. He's
he
the one that
died
died.
recently, and I was like, is it still too soon? I don't know. I don't think it's too soon.
No, it's
Because
not
you said-
anymore.
You said Kobe Bryant. It's funny.
That's right. I was referencing Kobe beef.
Not to be confused with Nagano beef.
And not to be confused with COVID-19.
Ooh, we don't want that.
No.
We don't want that.
We don't want
Don't
COVID.
eat the COVID-19.
COVID.
Well, what are your thoughts on the topic of America opening back up?
Before,
And are we
just
ready?
one last thing on the Kobe Bryant thing.
Yeah.
This could be a shot in the dark. Was Kobe Bryant's number 19? Was he Kobe 19?
Oh, no, I think he was like 20-something. Or Kobe Bryant's number. I think it was 24.
24 sounds
Yeah.
like Michael Jordan. No, he was 23, wasn't he?
23,
Yeah.
yeah. He was 24 for the LA Lockers.
Lockers.
The Lockers.
Locks.
The LA Lockers. Remember the Foot Locker?
I don't.
The commercials that used to come on before, I think it was like before we got the Hulu without commercials.
Oh, God.
And they would do like Foot Locker commercials, but the guy said it really weird.
Yep, I do
At
remember
Foot
that.
Locker. I was like, blech.
I do remember that now. Thank God for Hulu without commercials.
I know. I love Casey and I have been watching this. You would love it. It's this hilarious, dumb sketch comedy show by this group called the Dress Up Gang,
Okay. I have not heard of it.
and it's on TBS.
Very funny.
Very funny. So we downloaded the TBS app to watch it, but there are commercials,
Ugh.
and we're like, huh? Just like that. Huh?
It's a good face.
You would like the Dress Up Gang. They do just dumb comedy.
Speaking of comedy, I watched last night the new improv comedy, like long form improv comedy show, Middleditch and Schwartz.
Oh, was it good?
I watched just the first episode, which was 50 minutes long. It was a 50-minute improv thing that they did.
Jeez.
And it was it started out so it's Thomas Middleditch, I think is his name, who was the main guy in Silicon Valley, and then Ben Schwartz, who is Sonic the Hedgehog, and most importantly, he was what's his face in Parks and Rec, who I can't remember his name right now. Pills, baby. But it's just them two on stage, and it was at first, the first like 5 to 10 minutes of the improv sketch was just like, okay, this is pretty funny, but by the end of it, this will tell you how funny it is. I was literally slapping my own ass while I was laughing.
Yeah.
Because
is it on Netflix?
It is on Netflix. Yeah, I was laying in my bed on my side watching it, and you know when something's like a knee slapper, it's like a knee slapper. It's so funny. I can't slap my knees because they got sunburn, which we'll get to in a second. I was like, ah, and I was slapping my ass instead.
Yeah, like Iowa. Like we used to slap our ass and say Iowa. For some reason.
We're the stupidest people that have ever lived.
But
speaking of opening America in the face of COVID-19.
Yes, indeed.
I want to tell a little story, and then we'll talk about whether or not we think that the rest of America is ready to open, whether it's a mistake, whether like people feel like they can do it or not, and we'll quote some news stories or some headlines that I read.
Ooh, headlines.
So this weekend was Memorial Day weekend. I had a 4-day weekend, and I was like, I don't know what to do, and I can just stare at the wall or look out the window for 4 days now instead of 2 on the weekend. And then my friend Kurt, who we've brought up a couple times on here,
the bow and
arrow. Kurt the Bow and Arrow. He was like, hey, do you want to meet up at Golden Gate Park on Friday? And I was like, yes, very much yes. I haven't seen another person in real life that's not a delivery driver in so long. I haven't touched another person since my mom left after my surgery 3 months ago, except for that time when I accidentally touched the hand of the delivery driver. Just me and delivery drivers are getting around.
Yeah, you've really created a name for yourself in the delivery driver community.
They're like, whenever they see my address pop up, they're like, oh shit, that guy fucks. Get ready. Wear 3 condoms. So I was like, yes, please, let's do this. And it's Memorial Day weekend. States all over the country have been open now for a few weeks. And by open, we mean like, yes, you can go to the parks. Restaurants are open with like 25 or 50% capacity. You still have to maintain social distancing rules, which is 6 feet apart. Wear a mask when you're outside. And we'll get into in a second whether or not people are doing that and whether or not they're stupid fucking idiots. But I was like, yes, let's do this. We can go to the park. Golden Gate Park is enormous. Like you could literally let 100 little Cub Scouts loose in it and you will never see any of them. There were so many people out there. But everyone had a mask while they were walking or biking. I biked there. It was the first time that I actually like rode a bicycle since my surgery as well. And I was like, oh, 3 miles. It felt really good to ride a bike, but also like had a permanent stomach cramp basically for the next few hours. But we got there. Everyone was obeying the social distancing rules. Everyone was staying 6 feet apart.
That's nice.
And it was, in fact, there were between each little pod of people in the park, there was a good 10, 15 feet. There were only 1 or 2 times when people were just walking through the field that they walked too close to us. Like they were maybe 7 feet from us. And I was like, bitch.
Don't you come any closer.
Don't you come any closer. But yeah, it was a good time. We spent a few hours out there just talking. People were throwing frisbees, and they were not doing well because it was very windy. People were throwing footballs, and they were playing games. People were having fun. People brought a giant 4x8 piece of plywood painted like a Monopoly board, and they played giant Monopoly in the park.
That's fun.
So it was good to be able to see people getting outside and enjoying themselves. It was good to be outside. Just like I can go on a walk around the block or to the grocery store and things like that, and yeah, it's good. But to actually like go out and experience nature and people and social civilization again was so good for my mental health.
Did you keep a mask on while you were hanging out with Kurt, or because you were 6 feet apart? Did you
so here's what we did. I wore my mask all the way to the park, met up with Kurt, and then when we got there, I asked the questions. I said, do you have a fever? have you been around anyone in the last 14 days who has COVID-19? Do you have any of the symptoms? No. And then it was like, are you okay if I hug you right now? Because I haven't touched another person in months. And he was like, yep. And then we hugged. And it was great. And then while we were around each other, mask off.
Yeah.
Which is totally fine. But then as soon as we got up and started walking away from our spot in the park.
Back on.
Yep. Because what people don't really realize is like, oh my God, it's so hard to breathe in these masks. And like, I'm not sick, but it's about protecting everyone else. It's about you are walking down the street and maybe a person who's riding a bike drives by and they cough or they sneeze while they're on the bike. And that's now everywhere around you and you're going to get sick and everything you touch is now going to transmit that virus. And whether or not you get the virus, you've just now spread it to hundreds of people.
Yep.
And it's really irresponsible and it's really stupid for people who don't do that. Anyway, so yes, we did wear masks, but it was great. And I was very happy to see everyone obeying the rules here in San Francisco.
I wish I saw that here in Chicago.
So tell me a little bit about your experience that you've seen so far in Chicago.
It ain't good.
First of all, in San Francisco, we're technically not open yet. I think the 31st is when like restaurants are finally able to open with limited capacity. We are still in shelter in place for the next few days. What is Chicago like?
We're still in shelter in place through the 29th. And then the most or pretty much the rest of the state on the 29th is going to open for outdoor seating only because there have been studies that have shown that the disease transfers less when you're outside as opposed to when you're inside. So the dining rooms are still closed. But outdoor seating will be open, of course, with the social distancing and like lower capacity and whatnot. And the same for like salons and things like that. But you have to do lower capacity, social distancing, all of that, and masks and whatnot. But Chicago isn't going to. Our mayor has said, no, not yet. It's going to be early June. But we don't have a set date when it will happen here.
I've seen so many memes with the Chicago mayor being like, stay the fuck inside. And it's great. I fucking love her.
She's great. She went because like after, I do too. A lot of people are hating her right now, but I mean, cause they're stupid, but, she's like, y'all can hate me. I'm doing this for your good, for your own good. So there are like, people are putting images of her in their windows. There's an Instagram account that I follow called Where's Lightfoot? And they just take the image of her when so not long after the shelter in place went into place, people were still all up on the Lakeshore Trail and whatnot. So she closed it all down. And there's a picture of her standing in front of a police no cross barricade or barrier.
Right.
Like looking real stern. Like, stay the fuck at home. And some people have taken that image and just Photoshop her into different images. It's called Where's Lightfoot? You just have to find her in these images. It's so great. It's so great. And she loves it. But, like, we're still having almost every day over 2,000 new cases reported. We're not actively decreasing right now. Like we'll have days where it's like, okay, we're at 1,800 or whatever. Like several weeks ago, we would bounce around between like 1,200 and 1,800 new cases a day. Then it jumped and there was a big increase one day to like 22. And then it would kind of bounce around like 18 to 22,000 new cases a day. Or 100. That's a lot. 100 cases a day. And then it bounced up to like 3 something. It's even gone up to 4,200 cases a day.
Wow.
In a day. And then, so now we're having between like 22 and 3,100 cases a day. Like, but it's not actively decreasing. I think they're saying that the hospital situations are getting better. They've been saying we're flattening the curve. I mean, we're not actively increasing every day, but I don't think we're not decreasing. And people here are not obeying things. Like when we go out to walk the dog, if it's, a cooler day, there are significantly fewer people out just walking around than when it's nice out.
Right.
And they're not like most people do wear masks. And like, if it's not a super packed, like if we're walking the dog and it's not incredibly packed, we won't wear a mask. We'll just take it with us, and if we are around people or like can't get away from people, we'll put it on. Because if it's cooler or early in the morning or whatnot, and there aren't people around, and we can be away, like on the other side of the street, that's just what we do. Otherwise, we'll put it on, and whenever we go inside anywhere, of course, we put it on. But like on a weekend, I mean, it's like today, because it's a really nice sunny day. Most people are not obeying this. There are some people who are like, "Don't get near me."
There are those people that take it to the extreme.
Yeah. I was like, "Honey, I know how to not get near you, okay, sweetheart, little boy, little buddy." He's not like, these are grown men, but but if you go to parks, sometimes we'll walk Delilah through a park that's nearby, or if there's a part of a park that doesn't have a ton of people in it, we have a long leash for her, so we'll take that, put her on her long leash, and let her run around some. But like on days like today, we can't do it because people are everywhere and they're not following social distancing rules. Even though there still are a lot of people that wear masks, but then they think, okay, I have a mask on, I don't have to be distant. Like, I don't need to be 6 feet apart from these people. And I can, like at the grocery stores and stuff, they're like, oh, I've got a mask on, I'm wearing gloves, I can just get all up in here and touch everything. It's like, gloves actually aren't good, because if you touch something, like it's easier to transfer things, like where you can just sanitize your hands or whatever.
Right, you're not going to put hand sanitizer on your gloves.
No,
Or wash your gloves.
No, and they're littering. They're all over the place. Like,
really?
These gloves and masks are all over the place. It's ridiculous. But people are having giant parties that the mayor keeps saying, like, we're gonna find you. We're gonna arrest you. We will find you. We will arrest you. A lot of churches are like, we're going back. We can't have the fellowship. It's in person. And it's like there's a Romanian Presbyterian church near where I live. And they're like, we're opening. We're having services. This was last Sunday. And they're like, we don't care what anybody says. We're doing it. And apparently they've not been good neighbors to the neighborhood anyway. But the mayor went and shut down the streets around the church. It's like, you are not.
Yes.
A lot of churches. I know. She's like, I don't care if you don't like me. We're doing it. We're doing it this way. So a lot of people are obviously like pissed off at her and the governor, but people are having weddings still, and that's getting busted up. I think the vast majority of people are doing what they need to be doing, but I think also because I'm out walking my dog at least once every day, if not twice. Like on the weekends, I'm out with her on all her walks during the week, not always, because of work. But I think just because I'm out more, I see the stupidity more, and like people like coming up to you, like when you're walking on a sidewalk, and then I'll usually, if I can't immediately cross the street or get into the road at least, because we'll do that too. We'll like go and just walk in the street. I will like go and stand in the grass or like get as close to the road as I can and just let these people pass me, because they're just coming at us like without masks a lot of the time. And it's like, and if they have a dog, my dog's gonna want to play with that dog. I'm like, I'm not in the mood.
Right.
I am not in the mood to have to deal with like holding her back. It's just, bleh. And I mean, we see lots and lots of like teens and whatnot, street youths.
Ugh, gross.
Like riding around, like hanging out together in large groups, and oh my gosh, families with their like two or three width strollers, and then the gaggle of the rest of their 4 kids on bikes on the sidewalk. Like, that's not where you bike. That's not where you bike. It's like, it's really annoying. I mean, I know they need to get out too, but like I'm super annoyed because I have to get out and walk my dog. My dog has to have this. You don't have to walk right now just because it's nice. Like, you can walk like early evening, after dinner. You can also go out on days when it's a little bit cooler. Like, you don't have to just come out on these days when it's nice. And that's what a lot of people are doing. And I'm just like, I'm out here every fucking day with my dog, and you only come out when it's like 80 and sunny. Fuck you.
I can definitely empathize with a lot of these people because, as I said, like being inside for months and not having human contact, like I was desperate. I was like, yes, I need to go to the park. Yes, I need to hug another person. Like I need this for my emotional well-being. And I get it as well from working in this room. My bedroom is now my work, is my creative space, is my sleeping space, is everything to me.
It's like you don't leave that room.
Yeah, and I look on either side of me and I see the windows and I can see it's beautiful outside. So there are times, and getting outside is also the only way to, like, I don't have a way to exercise right now that my body can handle outside of walking. So it's like I understand the need to get out and how important it can be for your mental health, for your physical health. But I think that as a nation, we are overcorrecting a little bit. Like part of me wonders, like, have we done shelter in place, like strict shelter in place, long enough that people are now too desperate to get out and they're putting themselves and others at risk? Whereas maybe if we had opened up a little bit earlier with some restrictions, people would have like taken smaller steps in advancing out. But at that time too, like the virus is more rampant in a lot of these places as well. So there's not a, and especially because for state by state and city, county by county, like it's different with exposure numbers and cases and deaths. But I am curious. I don't know the answer, but I am curious. Like, if we started opening earlier and imposing restrictions and slowly lifting them, rather than everyone is strictly in their place and then you can come out with 50% capacity or something like that months later, would we see something different than what we're seeing today?
I wonder. I do wonder. Because I think the people being stupid have been being stupid the whole time.
Yeah. Like you see the spring break kids out in Florida.
Yeah.
Just getting everybody sick and they all come back and they're dying and it's their own fucking fault.
Exactly. Well, in Texas, it has reopened or is in the process of reopening. And they've just had over 1,000 cases reported. It was the biggest.
So let's talk about some headlines. So Georgia, what's fun about Georgia, did you hear about this reporting thing?
I'm not sure.
So Georgia was one of the very, very first states to open. In fact, it might have been the first. And they were allowed to do it because they were reporting a drop in cases, like a steep drop in cases. And so, like, cool, we're going to open back up and we're going to do things that we used to do and everything's going to be great and we can say, fuck the government, blah, blah, blah. And then it came out like 2 weeks later that the reason their graphs showed a steep decline in cases is because they rearranged the dates on the graph.
No.
Yeah, so that the most recent dates were earlier in the graph, and the dates whenever there were fewer cases, because it was further back in time, were at the front of the graph. And then they just showed the graph, and nobody even looked at the dates at the bottom. Nobody even put context to it. And so they just lied. They fucking lied about the number of coronavirus the cases in Georgia in order to open up earlier. So there are
ridiculous.
Governments that are being stupid as fuck in this, like Georgia. And then there are...
Like our president.
Like our president. God damn it.
When he said churches need to be considered essential businesses, I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
Yep.
Like, when it all... The way that I rationalize this, or not rationalize, or the way that I see it is, how many people are you willing to risk infecting and potentially dying before enough is enough for you? Like, how many people are you okay with dying so that you can go to church?
Yep.
Or open your gym or something.
Right. So other
like
examples...
How many lives are worth your business?
On that exact point, read a headline today, 2 hairstylists at a great clips in... Shit, I don't remember the state. But 2 hairstylists came to work. They were symptomatic, but they wanted to get out of the house, and they were like, if I wear a mask, it doesn't matter. They cut 153 people's hair and exposed them all to coronavirus that day. 153 people that they just gave the virus to. And then how many of those people then unknowingly went to the grocery store, touched things on the shelves, touched other people, passed by, sneezed, coughed, whatever it is, probably without wearing masks.
Yep.
And that thousands of new cases now can be just because those 2 women decided, I want to go cut hair today.
Well, and also, Casey was telling me about an article, like a science-y article he was reading, that just was saying, so in LA County, out in the great
Which is
state of California.
July 31st, I think, is their lift on the shelter
Yeah.
place. They're not having a good time.
But they've been doing some antibody testing, which is a big part of that a lot of different states are taking into account for reopening. And it's shown. So on the specific day that the article was written, LA County specifically had like 8,000 some cases reported. And so LA County is like what, downtown LA only. They had about 800 some thousand. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. 8,000 some cases reported. But then of the random sampling of people that they tested for antibodies, they found like 4.5% to 5% of these people had the antibodies, which means if you take that math with the number of people in LA County, it's like 300 some thousand people had it. But just because you have it doesn't mean you have symptoms. But you're still contagious, and you can
Exactly.
So it's like, just from that, it looks like it's more contagious. But on the bright side of that, it's less deadly. But still, like hundreds, like over 100,000 people, I think, have died in our country alone.
Yeah, I think probably today I read that we're going to hit the 100,000 mark.
It's insane. And like, I just don't think that human life is, I don't like, that's too many people. And I know a lot of people on the reopen, on the conservative side of things, the far right side of things, are like, well, if somebody was in the hospital, like if somebody had cancer and they were given, 3 months to live, and then they catch the coronavirus and end up on a ventilator and die, that's listed as a coronavirus death, not a cancer death. Like, because the coronavirus is what came in, and like that doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
And they're like, there's any respiratory death they're calling it COVID, which is not the case. But like, if you have something and then you get the coronavirus and you get it bad enough that you're in the hospital and you die from it, like, yeah, you had cancer, but that's not what killed you in this case. It's probably what contributed to how bad this virus was, but it's not what killed you. And people are being just incredibly ignorant, in my opinion. Not everybody, but I mean, like the far right,
Yeah.
incredibly ignorant. And then they're with all these like Nazi things, and like going up to state governments with your machine guns,
Oh
and your
my
automatic
God.
weapons. I'm just like, what?
I
decade
don't
is it?
understand the need to associate wearing masks with also needing to carry your gun. Like, those are two separate things. You don't have to be like, I'm not wearing my mask, and therefore I also need to carry my assault rifle.
And that you don't need assault rifles. This country, that's a whole other topic.
Whole separate
That's
topic.
an issue. But like that, it just like compounding that on top of, and the fact that the people who are going to these like state government buildings with automatic rifles and they're not getting arrested.
Right?
Like, yeah, you're allowed to, in this country, you're allowed to own a gun. Whatever, that's fine. So long as you have all the proper licensing and permits. And I'm sure that these specific people do. Otherwise, why would they be going out with their guns when they know they could get arrested? But like, why they're not getting arrested? And then like the people using like Nazi, there's this one woman who had made a sign that it said, I can't remember what, it was above Auschwitz. I think it was Auschwitz.
Oh, yeah, Arbeit macht frei.
Arbeit,
Work will set you free. Yeah.
Yes. And so she made that and took that to a protest. I'm like, do you not know what you're doing? Like,
Yeah.
it makes me so mad. And I'm just like, because I completely understand wanting to reopen and wanting to get back to work and wanting things to get back to normal. Like, I completely understand that.
But the hundreds of thousands of deaths that will happen because you want a haircut is not worth it.
At all. And the people that are getting mad at the governments, like various state governments that aren't reopening and blaming it on them for like their businesses closing and whatnot, it's really not like you're getting mad at the wrong people. It's not the government that's the issue. It's the banks that won't let you wait on paying your mortgage. It's your rental companies that aren't letting you just not pay your rent. That's the issue. Like, the government is trying to keep us all safe, and it's other businesses that are trying, like, that are just like, yeah, fuck it, I want my money.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay, well then so it's just like, that's who you need to be mad at, but that's not who you're mad at. And it's just like, ugh. It's just really hard being on the right side of this, and then knowing that it's hard being on the right side of things.
It is.
You know?
What is hard, though, and I think it was Gary Whitta that tweeted this the other day, is that, like, it's hard being on the right side of this and obeying all the rules, but because everyone else is being an idiot,
Yeah.
I'm now going to be affected. Because you're all out being idiots at bars. Oh, my God. A very, very important person to me, who I love very much, is going out to bars with groups of people, and they are sitting shoulder to shoulder, all drinking, none of them wearing masks, and they're like, oh, the government told us we could, so I'm going to. And I'm like,
They're in a state that is open.
And I was like, it doesn't matter. First of all, please be informed enough to know that your government's an idiot. Two, please be responsible. That's so irresponsible of you. But anyway, those are the types of people who are making it so that, like, Gary Wood is like, hey, my kid can't go to school in the fall now because you guys are out spreading this virus. It's going to make us be in shelter in place even longer than we could have been had you just been a good human. I know it's an inconvenience to you, but be a good citizen of the earth, you idiots.
People are so stupid.
And with Memorial Day weekend, North Carolina, as a perfect example, on Saturday, North Carolina opened up their second wave, which is 50% restaurant capacity. Some other businesses are now open for business. They still don't have, like, bars and things like that open, but restaurants are open. The day after, they did that on Friday, Saturday, the day after, they reported the single highest day of new cases that they have had the entire time.
Jeez.
Because people are just going out in groups, and they're just being idiots. No one's wearing masks. I hate it. I hate it.
So it's like, it makes me so mad, but it's like, I know I can't do anything about it. And so I've got this anger that I can't do anything with.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get mad about that. And it's like, like, I really want to do this stuff too. I really, really do. I miss it. But really, I can't just get my head around, like, and I know maybe they don't believe that it's, maybe, I don't know, I can guess who the person you are talking about is, but the people, like, the specifically, like, you know, the far right people who are challenging it, I know they don't believe the science behind it, which I can't get my head around, science deniers. But when it all comes down to it and anybody challenges it, I just can't get my head around that you are potentially going to be the cause of people dying.
Yep.
And even one person dying because of me is too much. And it's just like, how many people? And also, and they're like, oh, it's just like the flu. I'm like, it's not. It's just not it's not just like the flu. There have been studies out of China that show actual tissue organ damage in the lungs of people who have been cured of this or who have gotten rid of it. Like, we don't know how this affects you in the long term.
And
it's like a new virus.
Incredibly more contagious.
Yeah, it's incredibly more contagious. Maybe it's not as deadly as we anticipated or as the current numbers are showing, but that's now. Like, it's giving you organ damage now. It could take years off your life. We don't know. And so it's like, I'm not okay with shortening a person's life, with being the result of, or the reason, the cause, whatever, of somebody's death. It's like, it's not enough. Like, I mean, it's too much. Like, what am I trying to say? Like, one is too much.
Yeah.
And these people who are doing this are potentially going to be getting so many people, just so many people, because one person infects, let's say 5, because potentially this is more contagious than what we've been told. Then you've got 5 people who can infect 5 people. That's 25
It's
more
a pyramid
people.
scheme. It's Amway Global. It's VEMA.
It's VEMA.
It's
just
Herbalife.
like, it's Herbalife. I just can't. I think that, so to answer the question, are we ready to open? Gosh, it's so hard to say. Yes and no.
I think we're ready. We're ready as a country mentally to open, but we can't show enough restraint.
Yeah.
To not immediately go out and be exactly as the world was right before all of this happened.
Right before. Which we can't. You can never go back to that.
In a fun twist of fate, though, we are back to normal because in Arizona there was a mall shooting on Thursday. So we're back to normal USA.
Yay! What a great
3 people
situation.
injured in a shooting in Arizona. So
That's ridiculous. Blah. Gross. Well, let's move on to... Oh, wait. Before we move on to the conversation starter, we'd like for you to tell us your thoughts on if you think we're ready to open up, and just your thoughts on this in general, and on the protests, and have you seen people out and about following these rules or not following these rules?
Well, you take a picture of people who aren't wearing masks, and we'll out them on Twitter, and hopefully...
I will out anybody on Twitter that's not. You just let us know.
Yep.
We will do it. And then also, you can find us on YouTube under youtube.com/a bunch of stuff. You can find Respawn Aim Fire as well. But if you go to our Twitters after... when does Respawn Aim Fire come out? What day?
Tuesdays.
On Tuesdays for Respawn Aim Fire, you can find a link for theirs. On Thursdays for Affable Idiots, you can find a direct link for ours, and then you can click on it and go and watch us on YouTube and hit subscribe, pretty please. We need 100 subscribers to be able to get the / whatever we want, and not just a bunch of stuff. So please do that. You can find us on Twitter, Affable Idiots, Respawn Aim Fire.
We also just released the Fast and Furious 10 trailer.
Ooh,
on
it
Friday.
Was great.
So,
what did you guys think of it?
Yeah, go watch that it's on the Affable Idiots Twitter. Affable Idiots YouTube. So you can definitely go find that. YubTub. It's let's just say it is the stupidest thing I've ever done, and it is also the greatest thing I've ever done.
It's pretty incredible, and I'm really glad you ended up getting that set of Hot Wheels.
Me too.
Now, let's go ahead and move on to a conversation starter. This week, Martha Stewart herself.
Oh, shit. The GOAT. Woman who eats turkey through her ass and pukes it out her mouth. Martha Stewart.
Is that from South Park?
That is from South Park, yes.
I could have known. Should have known. The question here is, what do you think your pet has named you?
Martha, thank you for this question.
It's a great question.
First of all, just
Martha.
the concept of dogs naming their owners is something that is so obvious, yet something I'd never thought of before.
Right, it's weird, right?
Obviously, especially if you have multiple pets, they have to be able to, when they talk to each other, and they got to let, hey, did you see what so-and-so did today? Oh my gosh, they were jerking it into a sock in the bathroom. What does that mean? I don't know. I'm a dog. I usually just do it on a pillow. So, of course, they have to know who they're talking about to each other.
Right?
And then how do they refer to us? I've never thought about this before.
Excuse me, I took a sip of water and it went down the wrong pipe.
Oh my God.
Ooh, rude. I don't know. I feel like my dog might refer to me as like the shorter being with chest mountains.
With chest mountains.
Because, Casey's the taller being with no chest mountains.
No chest mountains. Okay.
Or maybe, like, you know how some people name their dogs like Scruffy and
Yeah.
Floofy? Maybe they hate that. They just want to be named like Derek.
If somebody names their dog Derek, take a picture of that dog, and I'm going to judge whether or not it looks like a Derek.
Like a Derek. This dog does not look like a Derek. I don't know. Maybe they name us after foods, like cheese.
Part of me wonders if they pick up on us calling each other our own names, and they because obviously they respond to their own name. They respond to Max, Thumper, Delilah. They recognize those names as their own. But we also call each other by our names. So I wonder if they pick up on that and they're like, oh, every time she screams Tom comes running from the other room. Tom could either be his name or Tom could be the most delicious food that he's ready to eat.
It could be the command, yeah. Tom! Tom!
So I wonder if that's a thing. Like, can they recognize that?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Some dogs, you could train them, like they bring you a toy or bring you a bone or something like that. You can say, bring it to daddy. And they'll go bring it to the right person.
Well, because Casey and I will often make conversations with the dog, where we are both ourselves, and then we also do a voice for the dog.
Oh, of course, of course.
Because who doesn't do that? And we refer to ourselves as like mom and dad, or ma and pa, or whatever. So she might just maybe we're thinking about this all wrong. Maybe to dogs they think we name ourselves, or like in the more hippie way, maybe they think the universe names us. And then they come into our lives and they're like trying to suss out all these different words that they don't know. And then they start to learn like, okay, sit. Okay, I know what that is. Okay, go to door. I know what that is.
I know what outside is.
Yeah, exactly. So she's like, okay. He keeps calling her, hey, you bitch. Okay, that's
You keep saying dirty slut. She must be.
So maybe they just think that we get named by life. I don't know. And when you think about it, does anybody actually name anything, or is it the secret? And then the universe just tells you what they should be called.
And your parents are just channeling the universe through their mouths.
Right? Maybe that's how it is. It's like all these names are up here in the ether, and then a baby gets put inside of you.
That makes sense, because that's how prophecies are made.
Yeah.
I mean, years before the kids are born and things like that, it's like, Oedipus will kill his father and have sex with his mother.
Right?
And like, who the fuck is Oedipus? They didn't, and the parents, had they known the prophecy ahead of time, they probably wouldn't be like, I'm going to name my kid after some prophecy about a guy that's going to kill his dad and rape me.
Yeah. Yeah, right? I'd be like, I'm going to name this kid Clark instead of Oedipus.
Right, and then the whole prophecy would have been wrong. But because the prophecy was written down,
he was destined to be called Oedipus.
Unless there are prophecies like in Harry Potter where they just respond to like the kid who survived and
the boy who
lived, right? And they're like, "Ooh, it could be Harry, could be Neville, who knows?" Didn't specifically mention which one.
Which one? I just feel like the universe, when you're naming something, the universe just sort of like pew, right in your
Shoots you
head.
right in the skull.
With like, it gives you a couple of different names to sort of, because they kind of throw you off the scent.
Yep. Okay.
Because they don't want to. I don't think they, the great namers want us to know. So they like send in some possibilities that they know aren't right, and then you get like this one. You're like, hell yeah. It's Dennis.
Do you think the namers, the great namers of the universe, do you think that this is like their 40-hour-a-week job? And they come in, all right, yeah, that one's going to be named Daryl. Yep, and then every once in a while they have a name where they're just like, all right, that kid's going to be named Blue Ivy. Yep, you're fired.
Yes!
You're fired.
Like,
that guy gets
just
canned.
Wait and see. Then they bring him back. Because they see, like, no, I think the great namer still got fired. But then you get, like, the Nevaehs.
Oh, yeah. Or the
Apple,
Orangelo and the Yolangelo.
Oh, my gosh, Lamangelo. Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. The great namers of the universe. Wow, what a fun job.
And they beam that right into dogs' brains.
Right in.
Full circle.
And to humans, all of us.
Yep.
Cats, lizards, ants.
Bears.
Battlescar Galactica.
Venus flytraps.
Ooh, suddenly Seymour.
Very good.
Well, thank you very much, Martha.
Thanks, Martha
question.
Stewart. You were probably high when you thought of that,
question.
weren't you?
I mean, she and Snoop are BFFs
That's
now.
right. D-O-double-G.
If
Hot
you guys
dog.
wanna-
H-A-U-T-E dog.
H-A-U-T-E dog. Do it. If you guys want to submit a question, email us at affableidiots@gmail.com. You can tweet at us. You can slide on into our DMs at
Slide
us.
on in.
You can comment on any or all YouTube videos at us. Let us know. What the question doesn't have to be like goofy or just kind of stupid. Like, what does a dog name you? They can be whatever you want. If you want it to be a fun, dumb question, hell yeah, we love those. If you want like what's the meaning of 2 + 2? 2 plus 2 equals 4, but the meaning of it.
Well,
might not
2
be.
plus 2 equals 4 in Euclidean geometry, but there are other types of math in which that's not the case.
That's true. That's true. So get at us on the internet and let us know. Let us know what you want to know. And lastly, we have a parting positive thought for you from none other than author of Brave New World, Aldous Huxley. Did you ever read that book?
Nope.
It was fine. I, in quotes, read it in high school. I didn't. I read the Cliff's Notes. And then when we were still living in our old place, and I was like, I want to read a bunch of stuff. I bought the book. I read it. And I was like, underwhelmed. I was underwhelmed.
You were not whelmed.
I was not whelmed.
Is Cliff's Notes plural cliffs?
I think so.
That makes
Or is it Cliff Notes?
Cliff Notes. Holy shit, it's Cliff's Notes.
I knew it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
A whole new world.
I did.
Brave
I
New
said
World.
Cliff's Notes, right?
You did. And I was like, I've never heard that. I've never said that. I've always said Cliff Notes.
Now you know.
That's Mike's
Mike's
super short show.
Stupid. But Aldous Huxley has to say, there is only one corner. Oh, this is perfect because we were just talking about the great neighbors of the universe.
Ah, there you go.
There is only one corner of the universe you can be certain of improving. And that's your own self. The universe gave you your name, but you can improve who owns that name.
That's right. Just worry about what you have control over.
Yeah.
Even if
I
this
used to leave
pandemic,
cups
it's nothing.
in my room galore.
That's right.
Now I take one in at night, I bring it out.
You used to have a whole collection on your windowsill.
I did. I have made leaps and bounds in the last nearly 2 years. So
Proud of you.
thank you.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Yes, me too. It's a good life. All right. So I think that brings us to the end of the show. That's the end of the show, but it's still an eternal show.
I just started singing that in my head too. I was like, oh my god, that's the end of our show.
Stupid. Well, we love you all. Hearts and sharts. Hugs and kisses.
Hearts and sharts.
Sharty farts.
Bye.
I fucked it up. Bye.